One, we have come to a point where we studied switching and also digital inputs. Switching is in the part of the digital inputs, and also uh, input pull down and pull ups, right? So we have to go further with these pull up, pull down things, switching and all. Before that, I want to take a small break and have a look on the coding once again. Okay, so this video is kind of mind refresher and also focus on the coding. So from the next video we will again proceed with the pull up and pull down. So this is also switching coding, but some strategies, right? Very simple things. So if we have to do let's say digital input, right? Digital input, what is the code for that? So let's try that. So let's say we are assigning an input pull down or pull up circuit to pin number 2. So you may remember the code now because it has been 2 or 3 times. So what we do is first we will say that particular pin is pin mode is an input pin. Okay, so that is pin mode 2. So you know what to do, right? Because it has been so many times that we worked on this. Okay, pin mode input, right? So also then what we do is we say, okay, either it is digital or analog. So it is digital what? Read or write? Read, because it is input, we already said. So digital read. So we are going to digital read the pin because it's input value. So what we are going to do is we are going to digital read the pin number 2. That means the input value is the now digital read value is the input value. So what we have to do is we have to assign the value to a variable so that we can play around with this. Okay, so let's put it this way. So then, since as I said you, we will get ones and zeros. 1 means high, 0 means low, like that, or 1 means 5 voltage, 0 means ground. So ones and zeros we will get. So x can be an integer. So we will we will declare x as an integer variable. So but then once you got that, what you will do? How can you see the input values, whether it is high or low? You have to serial print the value. So serial dot. So this is just like a recap of the previous sessions, so that you don't forget what actually you're doing. Serial dot, not println in the setup block. So it is serial begin. Okay, serial begin and the speed. Hope you can remember. So these sessions I covered in previous sessions videos, right? So then what we do inside the void setup, we will write serial dot begin. Serial dot println. Println, okay, x value. So then you will see you are getting the x value. Okay, so everything is cool now. So you now know why do you have to write these 2 lines in the void setup block, and why do we have to write these 2 lines in the void loop block. If you don't know, go back, watch my previous videos and come back. So now this is fine. Now let's say you are not always going to read only one switch, right? Sometimes you may want to have another switch. Maybe you want to control 2 LEDs, let's say, or two some outputs, right? So let's remember we are going to control 2 LEDs or we are going to take 2 digital inputs to 2 pins for some reasons. Okay, you may have 2 switches, it is possible, right? So what you will have to do is how you can add that second part also inside the coding. So you may have to add the same scenario, same lines with another pin. Okay, so which lines you have to add? Do you have to add anything to serial begin 9600? Do you want to replicate it? No. This is the starting of serial communication. You can send any number of data. Okay, so do you want to do anything within this? So this is not serial, this serial. Anything in this line? Maybe. Okay, because here we print only x value. That means input value of 2 only, pin number 2 only. So let's say we are connecting another input to pin number 3, and we are trying to take that input as well. So obviously we see what we have done with pin number 2. First we will see that. So pin mode 2 input, we have said this particular pin number 2 is an input pin. So if you are going to use pin number 3 also, so you have to tell that as well. So what you will do is you will write another pin mode, you write 3. That means you are connecting another input switch or input value or input wire to pin Arduino pin 3 also. So maybe you have to create another circuit, pull up or pull down, and you connect that also to pin number 3. You get the point, because you remember now pull up, pull down and all those things. And now what we done in the void loop, so this concept is done. So serial begin, you don't need to restart. One time you start the serial begin, then you can print the pin number 2 input value and also pin number 3 input value next to each other, one by one. So serial begin is one time, that is fine. So inside the void loop, here we read the value, input value of pin number 2 using the digital read keyword, and we assign the value to x. So x is for pin number 2, there is no doubt on that, right? So we have to do the same thing for pin number 3 as well. So x is going to always indicate the input of the pin number 2. So to indicate the pin number 3, or let's say to store the pin number 3's input value, we have to use another variable, because x means what? It is a memory location. So x has its memory location, and the input value of pin number 2 is there in that memory location. So we cannot use that memory location for pin number 3. So what we can do is we will use another variable. So we can define that variable here. Let's say y, integer y, because this is all the digital input, so we have to go for integers obviously. So you will say, okay, I'm going to use y, okay, and I will assign the input value of pin number 3 to y. You see this? It's that simple actually. So what we will do is this pin number 3 will be, input value will be read, and then that will be assigned to the y variable. So also we can say that pin number 3's input value, that 1 or 0, will be stored in a memory location, and the memory location will be called as y. For pin number 2, the memory location will be called as x. So it's like two houses. It is stored in house x, this is stored in house y. So the one house has only one place. So if you put 3 here in the x place, 2 will be removed. 2's input will be removed. So you cannot do that. So you have to go for new house. So you will use y. So you declare a house and you use the value house. You understand? So that is fine. So what is done in the next line? We are serial printing the x value. So we have to do it with the y value as well, because we have to see the y values input as well. So what you will do is you write another serial println. Okay, println, and you will say y. So actually that's all you have to do. It's that simple. So now you have two inputs and you can read the values. So what it will done is it will do this whatever you have to do inside the void setup. So simple thing. So in the void loop, it will read pin number 2, assign it to x. It will read pin number 3, assign it to y, and it will serial print the x value, and immediately after it will serial print the y value. So you will see two values are printed, and since this is void loop, it is going to repeat forever. So again it will read the values 2 and 3, and again it will print x and y. So if you open the serial monitor and see, you will see continuously values are printed in a very fast manner. So sometimes you may not be aware. So because one by one next to each other, ones and zeros are going to come because digital input. So you may not be aware which is the input of x, which is the input of y. That means which is the input of pin number 2 and which is the input value of pin number 3. You don't know. Yes or no? Yes, because the numbers are going to come one by each other. So you can think of a way how we can get output that we can show that means by looking at the serial monitor we can show. So okay, this is x input, this is y input, so this is x value, this is y value. So this is pin number 2's input, or this is pin number 3's input. How can you do that? Because this serial println what will do is it will create new lines. So it will go like 1 0 1. Let's say the inputs are, let's say, coming like this 1. So I'm just writing random inputs, okay, 0 0 like that. So if it goes for continuously for like 1000 lines, you are not aware which is x value and which is y value. So you need to come to a scenario whether there should be a delay between first printing and second printing, or you have to come to a scenario like this. So that means 1 is x value, 0 is y value. So in the next printing 0 0 maybe 1 1, okay, 1 0 like that. So then you can say the first one is x value, next one is y value. Then again in the new line you have to print x y. So how you can achieve this kind of scenario? Okay, so I'm not going to teach you this. You are going to try by yourself. But as a hint, I can say there is something called serial.print. Okay, so there also you can pass either x value or y value. It's up to you, right? So what is the difference between serial.println and serial.print? That means to the line number 12 and 14. You see, 12 and 14 and 12 and 14. So serial.println will print the value in a new line, but serial.print will not print the value in the new line. It will print the value in the current line. Okay, so by switching these two words, serial.println and serial.print with xy variable, you are going to try, that means only these 3 lines you are going to try two different words. So you don't need to use 3 lines, you can use only 2 lines, that's enough. That means 12 and 13. So one line can be serial.print, one line can be serial.println. So then you can obtain a scenario like as I said, something like this. This is x value, this is y value, this is 1 1, this is x value, this is y value, this is x value, this is y value, like that. So it is very easy to understand. So if things are confusing, you can even try the serial.println coding inside the void setup for x and y printing, so that it will print only one time and you can understand, okay, this is printing like that. Then you can come to void loop, remove that void setup part, come to the void loop and implement the same thing. So whatever way you go for that. But I give you one more keyword, like serial.print is also there. So using both of these keywords, doing some combinations, please make sure you are getting an output like this. I'm not going to teach this, I'm giving it to you on task. So once you did this, now you have some good idea about digital input and switching. And once you did the serial printing also properly, then you are able to see that. So once you complete that, go to the next video that I will upload after this. There we will continue with this digital input and digital output, that means pull up and pull down and further, right? So there are more to come, so please consider subscribing us, and until I catch you in the next video, have a great day ahead. Bye.